It is a shame that Canadians can't vote for their prime minister. Let me explain. Because a lot of people think, they must vote. There's a prime minister, there's an election, they must vote for their prime minister, but that's not the way it happens. And I've talked to Americans and they seem confused. Now, Canadians vote for their local representative for Parliament, the Canadian version of Congress. The party with the most seats in Parliament gets to form the executive branch of the government, and the leader of that party becomes the Prime Minister. Normally, the leader is also an elected minister, hence Prime Minister, but this isn't a requirement because the current head of the Liberal Party and the current Prime Minister is not an elected representative, and he actually hasn't held office before, yet still Prime Minister. And even in the next election, he will be running. They are running him in a riding. But the only people who can vote for him directly are the people who are in that riding. So everyone else around Canada can't directly vote for him, only in that local riding, because he was going to run as a local representative. Now, whether he wins or not, I don't think matters much, as long as his party gets the most seats and more seats than the opposition, so that they can form the executive branch. So voters have a conundrum. They want to vote for the executive government. And if you talk to Canadians, they talk about who they want to be prime minister. No one talks about their local representative. So people want to vote for prime minister, but they can't. They can only vote for their local representative. And that leads to people ignoring who is running in the local races and only voting for the party attached to who they want to be prime minister. Let's look at some recent polling numbers. Look at what happens when the Liberal Party replaces their leader. The Liberal Party seats go from 35 to 191. The local representatives running haven't changed much. It doesn't matter if the local representative for the Liberal Party eats babies or only has a grade 5 education. All that matters is who that represents. I can think of another example. I remember when the NDP party was gaining steam under Jack Layton, and the NDP was frantically struggling to get more representatives running in Quebec. These were often university students. It didn't matter who they were. They still got elected because the leader of the party was popular. Now, this conundrum, it's such a shame, though, because local representatives running as independents, for example, could actually focus on representing the riding instead of just towing the party line. But most view these as wasted votes, as the vote doesn't translate to what they perceive as a vote for Prime Minister.
Say to people, as an independent, I am free from the party whip. I am free to actually represent your voice in Parliament. When you belong to a party, you are beholden to the whip, who is beholden to the leader, who is beholden to the lobby groups and the foreign NGOs. As an independent, I am beholden to the people of my community that actually voted me in. It's them that I have to take care of, not the lobbyists behind the curtain. And people don't understand the kind of power an individual voice has for their community. People should vote for me because I am an independent voice. I am your voice. I'm the voice of every Canadian. I am hearing your concerns, and I have the ability and the fight within me to take your concerns to the House of Commons. Nobody is holding me back. I am not beholden to a party whip in order to keep my seat. So I actually can represent the voices of Northumberland Clark riding in the House of Commons. I can bring your concerns. I can share your ideas, because the only way to make this country better is by working together. And the only way we can do that is if we actually hear each other's voices.
And it isn't just independents. Maybe you want one party's leader for prime minister, but maybe you have an excellent local representative who happens to be in a different party. We should live in a world where you could vote for both. A solution to this would be to have a separate vote for prime minister or president, like the US has. But I wouldn't hold my breath for change because politicians don't want to change the system that got them elected. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. Cheers.